Hi, Bill and Alisa Winslow here with Winslow Group Real Estate at Coldwell Banker Schmidt Realtors. Here we're going to cover the Winslow Group's top 10 selling tips for 2023. Alisa, what's number one?
Number one, of course, is find a trusted agent that knows your community and cares about you. Experience is absolutely critical, especially as we enter a market that's probably going to be a little bit tougher, still good, but a little bit tougher than what we've experienced in the past. You need somebody that has negotiating skills and understands the area. If you're buying a waterfront home, don't you want to know what the best shorelines are, et cetera, et cetera. So number one is definitely a great realtor.
Number two, as the market has shifted a little bit, we've talked in previous podcasts, number two would be pricing your home correctly. More so than in 2020, you could put it on and see what happens. That is not the case in this market. You're really going to need to price your home correctly. Number three.
First impressions are everything. And that begins with the professional photographs in the listing. That's the first time the prospective buyer is going to see your home. But it continues on through even the entryway in your home. The first time you step through the doorway, it really is critical that that buyer has an experience in your home.
So an extension a little bit on number three is number four, and that is declutter. Put items in storage. We live different in a home than when we actually list it. So taking all the knickknacks down, stuff out of the closets, stuff, all over the countertops, put them away in the cabinets. I always recommend get some big Tupperware boxes, store all of that stuff neatly stacked in the corner of a basement, storage room, garage. For some sellers, we even get a rental unit and store some of their items there.
Yeah. Number five, we're going to clean. And we're talking a deep clean. Whether you do it yourself or you hire a professional, buyers are going to see things in your home that you haven't seen for years. Little things like fingerprints on the light switches. Those are things that they're going to experience firsthand as they view your home. So it's really important for it to sparkle and shine.
Number six, we will always work with the seller. If there's certain things that don't allow for a showing, we will work around that. But number six, always be ready for a showing. We're surprised at, even if we say 24-hour notice, especially up here in Northern Michigan, we get people that need to get in a home on a short notice because they're only up for a weekend. So I know it's a lot of work, especially if you have little kids, but keep that home neat and clean, ready for a showing. And if the goal is to sell a home, I know it's an inconvenience, but try and work with the realtors to get those buyers in.
Yeah, and when it is time for the showing, have the house prepared as well as you can. So we will work with you to make sure that it's open and it's ready to go. But it should be presentable at the time the showing occurs. And if you can hire a stager, we highly recommend staging. So that is step number 7. If you're able to hire a stager, we have stagers that we could recommend, stagers that we work with closely. That will help increase the appeal on your home.
So selling tip number 8 is let the light in. So we ask that sellers turn all the lights on in the house, even the exterior lights, open all the blinds, really make sure that the blinds are all the way open, that you can capture any view that there is, and it just makes for a warm, inviting environment. If there's a gas fireplace, often we'll ask sellers to turn that on. And certainly if the home is vacant, if it's an out-of-town seller, we at the Winslow Group will go over there and make sure the house presents that way.
Yeah, that's why that cleaning is so important too, right? Because they're going to see everything once you have it really brightly lit. Selling tip number 9, make sure your agent has a marketing plan that starts with those photos that we talked about. So at Winslow Group Real Estate, we have a 12-point marketing plan. It has everything from photographs to how we capture leads from your sign, from social media marketing that we do that's really important, the newsletter that we have. If you are talking to a realtor and they can't articulate a well thought out marketing plan, you need to run.
And selling tip number 10 goes back a little bit to what tip number 1 is, full circle, and that is understanding when we get to the offer that not necessarily the highest offer is the best offer. So having an agent, as you touched on, that's a skilled negotiator, understands there's multiple components to an offer, from timing to financing versus cash to terms in the offer, inspections, etc. So there's many things to cover in there, and that's where an experienced agent can walk you through really taking the time and analyzing each offer that you receive to give you the best possible deal.
So those are our top 10 selling tips for 2023. We could go into great detail on each one of them, and we're going to do that. In fact, we're going to tackle pricing next. There's nothing more important than making sure you price your home properly in this new market. So click like and subscribe down below to follow us to make sure you're in the know when we launch that next video.